quick review on the PDC that I competed in a couple of years ago. This was my very first trial. This is in Florida. We drove 18 hours, took my whole family with me, and we got there that morning and we were already trialing. This is a little bit of a long day for us. Previous night we were driving the entire time. Russ gets a little bit finicky when he travels. He doesn't really like to drink. So now he's a little bit dehydrated. We're exhausted. And that's one of the things that I always tell people is we want to train at 110%. That way when we don't do well, we are at least at 80% or 90% performance versus training for barely passing, and then when you don't do well, you're not going to pass. So I know the routine could have looked much, much better, but we passed, and we passed with the highest score for that category. This is Stefan during the carjacking scenario. This is an area that I only practiced one time. I was a little bit nervous about this scenario right here. I remember worrying about how he was going to do because we only got to practice it one time. This is when my club was very new still. Only had a couple of people in the club helping me out. This is Adrian Ray with the attack on handler, surprise attack. And so us being new in the club, I hadn't really done anything with Rust for like a couple of years because I wasn't sure what sport we were going to do. And then we formed the club, the protection sport PSA club in my area, and then we started training. So yes, this is again, not the best performance. This is also before I started working on grip targeting, so his performance looks okay. This is Ben Lipinski on the courage test. As you can see, I'm very, very open about this. I know his grip is not the best. I know his deficiencies as a dog. Some of the genetic things that could be a little bit better, and I know the training, that I know I didn't provide him with the best imprinting early on. So his grip is not the best. At least definitely not at that point. It really was not. It wasn't the best. The targeting wasn't the best. You can see on the video that a lot of work could have been done. Again, something I'm very, very, very honest about. I'm not patting myself on the back and saying, "Wow, look at that awesome performance." And I was very happy overall. Again, we had the highest obedience score, and I believe the highest bite score in the category of PDC that day. So I was happy about that. And again, traveling 18 hours, Russ not drinking a whole lot. This is why I tell everybody that I work with, always train for high performance, because there's a good chance your dog is not going to be at its optimum level on the day of the trial. But at least that'll bring it down a little bit, not significantly. Level 1 was definitely a journey. I will talk about the level 1 breakdown, which that was definitely a journey. I made a lot of mistakes in preparing for the level 1. So a different video for a different time, but this, yeah. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just telling you how it was. There are people that travel all over all the time for trials. So I'm not the only one that drove 18 hours. There are people that do that on a regular basis. There was one kid in that trial that had driven from Massachusetts. That's at least a 30-hour drive. So I know that the traveling is a thing for most people who compete. Some people wait until the trials are held in their state. And some of us, if we have the opportunity, will travel anywhere. And if it's in our state, and if it's close to us, I mean, that's even better. But that's just how that goes. There's a lot of traveling. Your dog is probably not going to be at its best. You're probably not going to be at your best. You're going to be tired. But that's how it goes.